The iPhone 17 is less than 2 months away, and today I want to talk about why you might not need to upgrade if you already have the latest model. I actually switched from the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max, and to be honest, most of the new features just don't make a difference in my daily life, and it wasn't really worth it. So if you're thinking about going from the 16 to the 17 this year, you might want to hold off too. Let me walk you through all the new features of my iPhone 16 Pro Max that I barely use in my day-to-day. This way, when the iPhone 17 comes out, you have a better sense if those new things are actually going to change your experience, or if you're better off sticking with what you have. Before we get started, if you like Apple content, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you'd never miss new uploads. So let's start off with the first feature, camera control. When the iPhone 16 launched, Apple added this new button to quickly open the camera and access new features more easily. But honestly, I don't think it's practical at all. The placement is awkward, especially when you're holding the iPhone vertically. It almost feels like the phone's going to slip right out of your hand. Plus, it's not intuitive, and switching camera modes isn't comfortable either. Using it horizontally is a little bit better, but honestly, who takes horizontal photos with their iPhone every day? Maybe if you're filming for YouTube or something specific, but personally, I hardly ever use my iPhone that way. I usually grab my camera for that. Now, about the size. The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max are both taller and wider than the 15, and sure, the screen is a little bit bigger. It now has 6.9 inches instead of 6.7, and that sounds nice, but in real life, I barely noticed the difference. And the worst part, you can't reuse your iPhone 15 cases. And this isn't new, I know. I can't even remember the last time we could reuse a case from one iPhone to another, but maybe one day we can dream. Just so you know, with the iPhone 17 coming out, you'll probably need a new case again. And it may sound silly, but if Apple is going to change the size, I wish it was for a good reason, not just a minor tweak that doesn't really impact how we use the iPhone on our daily life. And in case you're curious, the bigger screen doesn't really show more content. When I'm reading, I think there's just one extra line of text, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, the change was kind of pointless. The next point is totally about how I use my iPhone. And I know some people do love these improvements and use them, but for me, all the camera upgrades didn't matter at all. The iPhone 16 Pro brought a better ultra-wide lens with 48 megapixels, 48 megapixels macro photos, Dolby Vision up to 4K at 120 frames per second, more options for photographic styles, and a lot more. But here's the reality. Even though I create content, I actually use my iPhone like most people do. I hardly ever use it to film content, just for a quick Instagram story every now and then. And honestly, these days, I use my Fuji X100 for stories way more than my iPhone. All my YouTube videos are shot right here with a professional camera, and now even my personal photos are all taken with the Fuji that I'm obsessed with. So these camera changes, for me, they didn't make a difference at all, especially coming from the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max. If you have an older iPhone like the 13 Pro or 14 Pro, then yeah, you'll probably notice a bigger jump, especially since the 14 Pro didn't have the 5x optical zoom, for example. But going from the 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max, it's really hard to notice much of anything. So unless you use your iPhone for professional video and shoot Apple Pro RAW, for example, chances are you won't see a big difference either. And I'm just speaking as a regular user. Most of my time is spent on messages, Instagram, Safari, and FaceTime. That's how I use my iPhone. But I truly believe that's how the majority of you use your iPhones too. Now, this next one is actually something I wished had changed. The idea was that we'd finally get just a small cutout for the front camera this year, but it looks like Apple couldn't pull it off this time, so the dynamic island is exactly the same as before. Maybe next year with the iPhone 18. And to wrap things up, let's talk about battery life. Supposedly, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has better battery life than the 15 Pro Max. But honestly, my charging routine hasn't changed at all. If I film a lot of stories in one day, like if I use my iPhone a lot, I still need to charge the iPhone again before the day is over, which I think is kind of crazy. At the very least, the battery should last all day, right? But for me, that's just not always the case. So that's it. I hope this video helped you think twice before upgrading your iPhone this year. If you upgraded last year and didn't feel like the changes were a big deal, let me know in the comments. Tell me which model you're using and whether you're thinking about upgrading this year or not, because your feedback always helps others who are here on the channel and who are also on the fence. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. That way, you won't miss anything new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.